In this module, we will focus on linear difference equations of second order involving a single dependent variable. Such equations have got wide application in diverse fields, from population dynamics in life sciences to study of single commodity in economics, and in the world of physics for study of motion of a single body. This area of difference equation finds its utility in all the practical situations whenever there occurs a change with a parameter like time. So, it is an integral part of dynamic world. In fact, in many situations differential equations are related to difference equations which are comparatively easier to handle. As the computation for these equations is based on the calculation of differences, so they are readily solvable using techniques of computer programming with the help of algorithms, and is very widely seen and used in the world of computer sciences as well. In fact, difference equations are related to differential equations in a way similar to as discrete mathematics is related to continuous mathematics. There are practical situations where value of dependent variable can be determined by using continuous values over the previous two periods. For example, Fibonacci sequence. In such situations, the order of difference equations relating to values of dependent variables over specific time periods becomes as the difference equation between largest and smallest time period taking discrete values is now 2. So, second order linear difference equations have got wide and frequent applications. However, our focus is to concentrate majorly in the field of economics. In this regard, studying the national economy of a country where the expenditures, national income, investments are all related is very much relevant. This is very well understood by using the concept of difference equations. As we know, expenses on consumables would promote additional investment. The resulting mathematical model for such cases would result in second order difference equations, which we will discuss in detail in the following sections. After studying this module, you shall be able to identify and understand the form of second order difference equation. Classify the second order difference equations as homogeneous or non-homogeneous and as the constant coefficient or the variable coefficient form. Solve the constant coefficient homogeneous second order difference equation to obtain its general solution containing two arbitrary constants. Solve the constant coefficient non-homogeneous second order difference equation by method of undetermined coefficient to obtain its complete solution. Apply this concept of second order difference equation to economic problems like the ones dealing with the study of the national economy of the country. Let us commence our module with second order linear difference equation. Consider a general second order difference equation which is of the form x n plus 2 is a function of x comma xn xn plus 1. One can have a more clear idea of a general second order linear difference equation of the form given by x n plus 2 plus a n x n plus 1 plus b n x n equal to c n, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, etc., where a n, b n, c n are functions of n. Here, if Cn is equal to 0, the equation is a homogeneous second order linear difference equation, where each term of the equation is defined as linear function of the preceding terms, and for Cn not equal to 0, the equation is a non-homogeneous linear second order difference equation. Illustration of second order difference equations. A well-known example of second order difference equation is that of Fibonacci sequence. This can be readily followed if we illustrate it with an example taken for the case of breeding animals, which is known to be very fast. Suppose we begin the case with one newborn pair of rabbits, and it happens that every month a pair of rabbits will give birth to a new pair. In a period of 2 months, every newborn rabbit becomes productive. We now intend to find out how many rabbits will be there after n months. We can model this situation with the help of difference equations. We denote the number of months by n, the total number of pairs of rabbits in nth month by xn. Starting from the first month, the number of pairs of rabbit is the initial pair only, and even in the second month, it is only the initial pair. as it would become productive after 2 months. So in the third month there will be 2 pairs of rabbits, in the fourth month there will be 3 pairs of rabbits. However, in the fifth month the second pair of rabbits that appeared in the third month would also become productive, and the original pair is giving rise to 1 pair every month. So in the fifth month 2 new pairs of rabbits get added to the total. So the total number of rabbits is 5 at the end of 5 months. Similarly, considering the possible production made by all existing pairs, we observe that in the sixth month, the total number of pairs of rabbits would be 8. Now, if we tabulate our observations, we get the following table. Now, observing the pattern followed in the table, we get the following difference equation. Xn is equal to xn plus 1 plus xn plus 2, comma, x1 is equal to x2 is equal to 1, which is a linear homogeneous second order difference equation, as the difference between the greatest and the smallest order is n minus in bracket n minus 2, which is equal to 2. Next, we will study solution of constant coefficient second order difference equations. First is the homogeneous case. As seen in the first module on difference equations, where we have discussed first order difference equation in detail, the general solution to it has one arbitrary constant. This general solution becomes a particular solution by using a given initial value, say xo. Similarly, in the general solution of a second order difference equation, we must have two arbitrary constants. However, unlike first order differential equations where we used iterative techniques to solve the equations, solving second order difference equation requires a trial solution to start with, which is somehow based on the solution of a type similar to that of the first order difference equation as considered. For example, let us consider second order linear homogeneous equation with a constant coefficient as xn is equal to a xn minus 1 plus b xn minus 2, where a and b are constants, b is not equal to 0 and n is greater or equal to 2. Now, the first order equations xn is equal to a xn minus 1 had the solution as xn is equal to a raised to the power of n mu o, where mu o is the given initial value. Based on this, we start with the trial solution to the second order difference equation as xn equal to c k raised to the power of n, where a and k are constants. Substituting the trial solution in first equation, we get c k raised to the power of n is equal to c a k raised to the power of n minus 1 plus c b k raised to the power of n minus 2, or c k n minus 2 bracket open k squared minus a k minus b bracket closed equal to 0. Now here c and k are required to be non-zero, otherwise the equation has a trivial solution xn equal to 0. In that case, we have k squared minus ak minus b equal to 0, which is the auxiliary equation or characteristic equation of first equation. This is a quadratic equation in k whose roots are given by k1 is equal to a square root a squared plus 4b divided by 2, k2 is equal to a minus square root a square plus 4b divided by 2 into n. As known by theory of equation, K1, K2 can be real and coincident or real and distinct or complex. Case 1. Let us consider the case where K1 and K2 are real and distinct. Then X1 is equal to C1, K1 raised to the power of n, and xn is equal to c2 k2 raised to the power of n are both solutions of first equation, as they both satisfy the ultimate quadratic equation. Here c1 and c2 are arbitrary constants, so we have c1 k1 raised to the power of n is equal to c1 a k1 n minus 1 and plus c1 b k1 raised to the power of n minus 2, and c2 k2 raised to the power of n is equal to c2 a k2 raised to the power of n minus 1 plus c2 b k2 raised to the power of n minus 2, which would further imply that c1 k1 raised to the power of n plus c2 k2 raised to the power of n is equal to a bracket open c1 k1 raised to the power of n minus 1 plus c2 k2 raised to the power of n minus 2 bracket closed plus b bracket open c2 k1 raised to the power of n minus 1 plus c2 k2 raised to the power of n minus 2 bracket closed. This straightaway implies that c1 k1 raised to the power of n plus c2 k2 raised to the power of n is also a solution to first equation, and as the solution has two arbitrary constants c1 and c2, it can be regarded as general solution to first equation. Hence, the general solution to the equation xn is equal to axn minus 1 plus bxn minus 2 is xn is equal to c1 k1 raised to the power of n plus c2 k2 raised to the power of n, where k1 is not equal to k2, where c1 and c2 are arbitrary constants and k1 and k2 are real and distinct solutions of the equation k2 minus ak minus b equal to 0. Case 2, when K1 and K2 are complex, as known by the theory of equation, if K1 and K2 are complex roots, they will occur as conjugate pair. Again, it is the case where K1 is not equal to K2. So the general solution is given by Xn is equal to C1 K1 plus C2 K2, where K1 and K2 form a complex conjugate pair. It should be noted that this solution can be expressed in the following way. Xn is equal to C r raised to the power of n cos bracket open theta n plus w bracket shut with c and w as arbitrary constants, or xn is equal to c1 r raised to the power of n cos theta n plus c2 r raised to the power of n sine theta n, with c1 equal to c cos w and c2 equal to minus c sine w, with c1 and c2 as arbitrary constants. Here r is equal to root b and cos theta is equal to minus a divided by 2 root b. Case 3, when k1 equal to k2, that is roots are equal. On the lines of the previous case, we say that here the general solution would take the form xn equal to c1 k1 raised to the power of n plus c2 k2 raised to the power of n, which is equal to k1 raised to the power of n bracket open c1 plus c2, which is equal to k1 raised to the power of n c3, where c3 is equal to c1 plus c2. But here we see only one arbitrary constant instead of two as expected for a second order difference equation. So the above solution cannot be regarded as a general solution. Now we consider another trial solution to first equation given by xn is equal to dn k1 raised to the power of n. Substituting the solution, we have dn k1 raised to the power of n minus a d bracket open n minus 1 k1 n minus k1 raised to the power of n minus 1 minus b d bracket open n minus 2 bracket closed k1 raised to the power of n minus 2, or d k1 raised to the power of n minus 2 box bracket open n k1 raised to the power of 2 minus bracket open simple bracket open n minus 1 bracket closed a k1 minus b simple bracket open n minus 2 simple bracket shut box bracket shut, or d k1 raised to the power of n minus 2 box bracket open n simple bracket open k1 squared minus a k1 minus b simple bracket shut plus a k1 plus 2b box bracket shut, or d k1 n minus 2 box bracket open a k1 plus 2b box bracket closed as k1 squared minus a k1 minus b equal to 0. As this is the case of equal roots, so the discriminant a squared plus 4b for the auxiliary equation must be 0. That is a squared plus 4b equal to 0 and k1 is equal to a divided by 2. So xn minus ax n minus 1 minus bx n minus 2 is equal to dk1 raised to the power of n minus 2 bracket open a into a divided by 2 plus 2b bracket shut is equal to 2dk1 raised to the power of n minus 2 bracket open a squared plus 4b, which is bracket shut, which is equal to 0, as a squared plus 4b is equal to 0. Hence xn is equal to dn k1 raised to the power of n is a solution to first equation. Moreover, dn k1 raised to the power of n and ck1 raised to the power of n are the two linearly independent solutions of first equation. Therefore, their linear combination is also a solution to it. Hence, the general solution to first equation is given by xn is equal to dn k1 raised to the power of n plus ck1 raised to the power of n is equal to dn plus c in brackets multiplied by k1 raised to the power of n, where d and c are two arbitrary constants. Now let us study some of the examples. 1. Find the general solution of the difference equation xn minus cxn minus 1 plus 9xn minus 2 equal to 0. The solution is, let the trial solution be as xn is equal to ck raised to the power of n, and proceeding on the lines discussed, we get the equations as k squared minus 6k plus 9 equal to 0, or k minus 3 the whole squared equal to 0, which has equal roots k is equal to 3, 3. So the general solution is given by xn is equal to bracket open dn plus c bracket close 3 raised to the power of n. Now suppose we are given initial conditions x1 equal to 3 and x2 equal to minus 9. Then from the general solution evaluated we get x1 is equal to d plus c bracket shut into 3 is equal to 3, that is d plus c is equal to 1. x2 bracket open is equal to 2d plus c into bracket shut into 9, which is equal to minus 9, that is 2d plus c is equal to minus 1. Solving these equations simultaneously, we get d equal to minus 2 and c equal to 3. So the particular solution in this case is xn, which is equal to bracket open minus 2n plus 3 bracket shut into 3 raised to the power of n. Second, find the general solution of the difference equation xn minus 1 plus xn minus 2 equal to 0. Solution. Starting with the trial solution, xn is equal to c k raised to the power of n. The auxiliary equation is k squared minus k minus 1 equal to 0. Solving this, we get k is equal to 1 plus under root 3i divided by 2, comma 1 minus root 3i divided by 2. Equivalently, we see r is equal to root b and cos theta is equal to minus a divided by 2 root b, which is equal to 1 by 2, which is equal to pi by 3. So the general solution is given by xn is equal to c r raised to the power of n cos bracket open theta n plus w. That is xn is equal to c cos bracket open pi by 3 divided by 3 into n plus w bracket closed, where c and w are arbitrary constant. Third, find the general solution of the difference equation xn minus 1 minus 2xn minus 2 equal to 0. Find the particular solution that satisfies the given initial conditions x1 is equal to 1 and x2 equal to 5. Hence, evaluate x6 solution. Using the trial solution xn equal to c k raised to the power of n, we get the auxiliary equation as k squared minus k minus 2 equal to 0, or k plus 1 in bracket into k minus 2 in bracket, which is equal to 0, or k is equal to minus 1 comma 2 real and distinct. Hence the general solution is given by xn is equal to a 2 raised to the power of n plus b bracket open minus 1 raised to the power of n, where a and b are arbitrary constants. Now using the given conditions, 2a minus b is equal to 1, 4a plus b is equal to 5, which gives a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1. Hence, the particular solution is xn is equal to 2n plus in brackets minus 1 bracket shut raised to the power of n. Now, x6 is equal to 2 raised to the power of 6 plus bracket open minus 1 bracket shut raised to the power of 6, which is equal to 64 plus 1 equal to 65. Moving on to the solution of constant coefficient second order difference equation, non-homogeneous case, consider a non-homogeneous second order linear difference equation with constant coefficients of the form xn plus a xn minus 1 plus b xn minus 2, which is equal to a function of n, where f is a function of n and A and B are not 0, are constants. It should be noted that in order to find solutions of non-homogeneous equations, we first find the general solution of the associated homogeneous equation to previous and a particular solution of that. The complete solution to previous equation is then given by taking the sum of both general solution and a particular solution. However, the proof of the strategy to be followed for non-homogeneous equation is out of the scope of the module syllabus. Using the techniques discussed in previous sections, the general solution to the associated homogeneous system can be easily obtained. Now, based on the functions that appear in the right hand side of the equations contributing to its non-homogeneity, we use a trial solution in the following form. F function of n is equal to k raised to the power of n. Then we take trial solution as ck raised to the power of n. If fn is equal to nk and k is equal to z, then we take this trial solution as co plus c1n plus, which continues to ckn raised to the power of k. If n is equal to kn cos in brackets phi n, we take the trial solution as ck raised to the power of n cos in brackets phi n plus d k raised to the power of n sine phi n. If f as a function of n is e raised to the power of I k n, we take the trial solution as c e raised to the power of I k n. And if f as a function of n is equal to k n sine in bracket phi n, we take the trial solution as c k raised to the power of n cos phi n plus d k raised to the power of n sine phi n. However, in taking any of these as trial solution, one has to take care that the functions appearing in the solution of the homogeneous part of the equation and the ones appearing in the particular solution must be linearly independent. This method is referred to as method of undermined coefficients. Let us study some more examples. 1. Find the complete solution of the equation xn plus 2xn minus 1 minus 3xn minus 2 is equal to 2 raised to the power of n. Solution. We first solve the associated homogeneous system xn plus 2xn minus 1 minus 3xn minus 2 is equal to 0. Corresponding auxiliary equation is k squared plus 2k minus 3, or k minus 1 into k plus 3 equal to 0, or k is equal to 1 comma minus 3. So the solution to this homogeneous system is given by xn is equal to c1 plus c2 in brackets minus 3 the whole raised to the power of n, where c1 and c2 are arbitrary constant. To find the particular solution, we use a trial solution as xn is equal to c2 raised to the power of n. Substituting in the given equation, we get c into 2 raised to the power of n plus 2c2 raised to the power of n minus 1 minus 3c2 raised to the power of n minus 2, which is equal to 2 raised to the power of n minus 2, or c2 squared plus 2 squared c minus 3c equal to 1, or 5c equal to 1, or c is equal to 1 by 5. So the particular solution is xp is equal to 1 by 5 multiplied by 2 raised to the power of n. Hence the complex solution is xn is equal to c1 plus c2 bracket open minus 3 raised to the power of n plus 1 by 5 bracket shut 2 raised to the power of n. c1 and c2 are arbitrary constants. Find the complete solution of the equation 4xn plus xn plus 2 is equal to cos 2n. Solution. The auxiliary equation for the homogeneous equation is k squared plus 4 is equal to 0. That is k is equal to 2i comma minus 2i. So the solution to the homogeneous equation is given by xn is equal to c1 2 raised to the power of n cos pi by 2n plus c2 2 raised to the power of n sine pi by 2n. For the particular solution, let the trial solution be xn is equal to c cos 2n plus d sine 2n. Substituting the trial solution in the given equation, xn plus 2 plus 4xn is equal to c cos in bracket 2n plus 4 plus d sine in brackets 2n plus 4 plus 4 in bracket c cos, then again a bracket opens 2n bracket shut plus d sine 2n, all the brackets shut, is equal to cos in brackets 2n, or C bracket open cos 2n cos 4 minus sine 2n sine 4 bracket shut plus d sine 2n cos 4 plus cos 2n sine 4 bracket shut plus 4 bracket open C cos 2n plus d sine 2n bracket shut is equal to cos 2n, or bracket open C cos 4 plus D sine 4 plus 4C bracket shut into cos 2n plus bracket open minus C sine 4 plus D cos 4 plus 4D bracket shut sine 2n is equal to cos 2n. Equating coefficients of cos 2n and sine 2n on both sides, we get C bracket open 4 plus cos 4 bracket shut plus D sine 4 is equal to 1 minus C sine 4 plus D bracket open 4 plus cos 4 bracket shut equal to 0. Solving the above system, we get C is equal to 4 plus cos 4 divided by 17 plus 8 cos 4 comma D is equal to sine 4 divided by 17 plus 8 cos 4. Hence the complete solution is xn is equal to C1 2 raised to the power of n cos pi by 2n plus C2 2 raised to the power of n sine pi by 2n plus 4 plus cos 4 divided by 17 plus 8 cos 4 into cos 2n plus sine 4 divided by 17 plus 8 cos 4 multiplied by sine 2n. Solve 6xn minus 5xn minus 1 plus xn minus 2 equal to n, where n is greater or equal to 2. Solution. The auxiliary equation to the homogeneous system is 6k squared minus 5k plus 1 equal to 0, or bracket open 3k minus 1 into bracket open again 2k minus 1 equal to 0, or k is equal to 1 by 3 or k is equal to 1 by 2. So the solution to the homogeneous system is xn is equal to C1 bracket open 1 by 3 bracket shut raised to the power of n plus C2 bracket open half bracket shut raised to the power of n, where C1 and C2 are arbitrary constant. For the particular solution, let the trial solution be xn is equal to d1 plus d2n. Substituting, we get 6 bracket open d1 plus d2n bracket shut minus 5 bracket open d1 plus d2 another bracket open n minus 1 bracket shut and the main bracket shut plus d1 plus d2 bracket in brackets n minus 2 which is equal to n, or 2d1 plus 3d2 plus n bracket open 2d2 bracket shut is equal to n. Equating coefficients of like terms on both sides, 2d1 plus 3d2 is equal to 0, 2d2 is equal to 1, which implies d2 is equal to half and d1 is equal to minus 3 by 4. So the particular solution is given by xn, which is equal to minus 3 by 4 plus 1 plus half n. Hence, the complete solution to the given equation is xn is equal to C1 in brackets 1 by 3 bracket shut n plus C2 brackets open half raised to the power of n minus 3 by 4 plus half n. 5. Next, we will study its economic implication. Consider an economy with national income xn in nth year. Let En be the total expense in nth year and In be the total investment in the country in nth year. Then, as national income is divided between expenses and investment, we have the equation xn is equal to En plus In. Assuming that expenses in n plus 1th year is a linear function of national income in nth year, we get the equation En plus 1, which is equal to Axn plus B, where A and B are fixed constants. Also, investment is needed when expense part increases, which gives the equation In plus 1 is equal to C bracket open En plus 1 minus En bracket shut. Now, by suitably rearranging the variables n, the previous three systems of equation can be rewritten as En plus 2 is equal to Axn plus 1 plus B, In plus 2 is equal to C bracket open En plus 1 minus En bracket shut, Xn plus 2 is equal to En plus 2 plus In plus 2. Using the values for En plus 1 and En, we get In plus 2 is equal to AC bracket open Xn plus 1 minus Xn, which further gives Xn plus x n plus 2 is equal to a x n plus 1 plus b plus ac bracket open x n plus 1 minus x n. Finally, rearranging the terms, we get x n plus 2 minus a bracket open 1 plus c bracket shut into x n plus 1 plus ac x n equal to b, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, etc., which is a non-homogeneous second order linear difference equation with constant coefficients. Now, if the initial expenditure EO and initial investment IO is known, then from previous equations we get XO is equal to EO plus IO, E1 is equal to AXO plus B, and I1 is equal to C bracket open E1 minus EO bracket closed. Now, as x1 is equal to E1 plus I1, which are both known now, so we get the value of x1, which in turn gives the value of E2 and I2. Continuing in this manner, we can find the value for En, In and Xn for any n. However, the expression would become progressively more complicated, but by using a suitable algorithm and programming techniques, we can easily get the required values. Alternatively, using the techniques to find solution to second order difference equations, as discussed in this module, we can find a general solution to this system, which can then provide particular value for any of the heads for any time periods. Now, let us summarize what we have learned. A difference equation in which the difference between the largest and smaller indices of the terms xn is 2 is called the second order difference equations. General second order linear difference equation is of the form xn plus 2 plus an xn plus bn xn, which is equal to cn, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, etc., where an, bn and cn are functions of n and bn is not 0, so that the order of the equation is 2. If an, bn are constant in the above, then it is a constant coefficient second order difference equation. If Cn is equal to 0, the equation is homogeneous. If Cn is not equal to 0, equation is non-homogeneous. The general solution of second order difference equation has two arbitrary constants. To solve a constant coefficient homogeneous form of equation 1, which has been indicated above, auxiliary equation is formed, which is a quadratic equation, and depending on the nature of the roots of the equation, general equation is obtained. For the auxiliary equation, k square minus ak minus b is equal to 0 if the roots k1 comma k2 are real and distinct. Solution is xn equal to cn k1 raised to the power of n plus c2 k2 raised to the power of n. K1 and K2 are complex conjugates. Solution is xn is equal to C1 r raised to the power of n cos theta n plus C2 r raised to the power of n sin theta n, or equivalently xn is equal to C r n cos bracket open theta n plus w, where C1, C2, C and w are arbitrary constants. R is equal to root b and cos theta is equal to minus a divided by 2 root b. If k1 is equal to k2 is equal to k, solution is bracket open c1 plus c2n bracket close k raised to the power of n. For a non-homogeneous constant coefficient form of equation 1, which we studied earlier, complete solution is found by taking sum of the general solution for the homogeneous part and one particular solution for the non-homogeneous equation. For the particular solution, trial solution is taken by following the techniques of methods of undetermined coefficients. Economic applications of second order difference equations can be seen in the study of national economy, considering national income, expenses and investment of specific time period.